This podcast is for professional voice teachers to answer the question, how do I grow my teaching business and even break out of that one-on-one lesson model so that I can reach and teach who I want whenever I want. I'm your host, Allie Tyler, voice teacher of over a decade and marketing and business coach for fellow voice teachers. Welcome to the Voicepreneur podcast. Hey, voice teacher, welcome back. I'm so delighted as always to be spending some time with you. This is a fun topic that we're diving into today, the discussion around memberships and courses, online courses. And yes, we are talking about online courses, not like an in-person course. Is that even a thing? I don't know if they call them courses. Maybe it's called a course somewhere in the world, but we talking online. We're going online, baby. We are scaling our business, and this is how we do it. If you are ready to break out of the one-on-one lesson model in any capacity, and what I mean by that is you just want to make money in other ways besides private lessons, then keep your eyes and ears peeled. What is the saying? Keep your ears peeled? That sounds weird. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. You're not even using your eyes. Okay. What do we say for ears? Tune in. Keep tuning in. Keep your ears alive. I've totally lost you. Okay. This is why we're here. We are talking about it. Are you ready? We are talking about the differences between memberships and courses. And I promise you, this is really important stuff. It is so helpful. It is so helpful if you want to wrap your head around creative ways that you can make money online that do not require you to trade any of your time or your energy unless you want to. And we're going to talk about how you may want to do that in the form of a course or a membership. So here's the thing to know about courses and memberships. There are a lot of different ways that you can do this. There is no right or wrong. And what's really fun is that when you start tuning in to how other people run their online businesses, it's really fun to see how they create their memberships and courses. There's a lot of different ways to do it. The size and the shape is completely up to you. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to break down the differences, the main differences between the two so that you can start evaluating which one feels more aligned for you right now. They are simple in their own ways, and they're both complicated in their own ways. It totally depends on your life and your vision and all of that good stuff. So let's break down the differences and then it'll all make sense, I promise. All right, so talking about a membership first. Let's talk about it. Membership first. So really the only thing that defines a membership is that a membership requires that the students are paying you on a regular basis, right? These are like customers or students, however you want to think about it. And I want you to really think about all of the different types of memberships that you engage with in your life. There are so many different types. So we have Netflix, right? We got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got HBO, we got basically anything that has some sort of TV or film attached to it. You typically are going to be paying them monthly now so that you can get a subscription to those channels and shows and all that good stuff, right? HelloFresh is another one. Amazon Prime. Maybe you have a Costco membership. Maybe you're paying for your bills through a membership. I know all of my bills, Xfinity and Sprint, and those are all monthly bills, right? You can actually think about that as a membership. Same with a gym membership. That's pretty obvious because they actually use the word gym membership, but a membership is literally anything that you are paying for on a regular basis, and that is typically going to be monthly. Now, you may be thinking, oh, what about voice lessons? Well, if you did think that, kudos to you for paying attention because yes, voice lessons can absolutely be a membership as well. In fact, I highly recommend going that route. And that's a totally separate podcast episode. But here's ultimately what you need to know when it comes to an online membership. Memberships are whatever you want them to be, so long as you are giving people a solution to their problem and they are paying you regularly for that solution. That's it. So since we are voice educators And specifically, we are quote unquote infopreneurs. My husband loves that word. It's basically a specific type of entrepreneur that is selling information. That's what we do, right? That is what voice teachers are doing in the online world. This means that our solution is very results oriented. Our job is to provide people with results. Every business's job is to provide a solution, but not every business's job is to provide results. They're slightly different. So just keep this in mind when you are thinking about creating a membership or really a course. Everything needs to be results driven. And what does that mean? It means that you need to be able to articulate what that transformation is so that when people join your membership or buy your course, they know exactly what it is that they are working towards. A course is ultimately one payment. You can think about it as a one-time payment, or maybe it's one ultimate payment, and then there's different tiers or maybe a payment plans or levels, but it has a start and an end. You come in one way and you leave another way. Kind of like what we were just talking about with having those results, right? And something else to consider is that a course is typically self-paced. Maybe the coach will come on for, like an annual live Q&A or a check-in or something like that. But ultimately, it is expected that the student is going to come in, they're going to buy the course, and they're going to just work through it by themselves. So just keep that in mind when you are considering both options. Now, there is no right or wrong, of course. I know that most people are going to think, oh, well, with the voice, they can't do self-paced because I need to be there, right? We all want to be there to make sure that they are doing the things and that they're not hurting themselves. And that is amazing. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but there are absolutely things that you can create that are easily self-paced courses for singers. I promise. I've done it myself. So I just want to help you keep your mind open here when it comes to the word self-paced. I know a lot of teachers kind of freak out about that. They just really want to be involved. And then they're like, wait, do I really want to be involved? I don't know if I want to be involved. I'm trying to scale my business. What am I doing here? So as I said before, the size and the shape are totally up to you. You could create something like a mini course, or what I like to call a no-brainer course. It's something where people look at it on your website or wherever they find it and they're like, oh, yeah, that is a no-brainer. I am totally going to buy that. Like if you ever have something like that, typically that's in the form of like a mini course, right? It's not something super big or super expensive. It is a no-brainer for your student to buy. So you could do something like that. You could do a large, quote unquote, signature type course. Maybe this is like your complete method and you have a signature program and that is super awesome. And it's like a high ticket type of thing. Or you could do something in between, right? You could do a medium-sized course. And what I mean by like medium and signature and small for prices, if this helps. So if you offered, let's say, a mini course, then that would be somewhere in the, let's say, under the $50 range. If you offered a medium-sized course, I don't know how else to say that. I don't know, a regular course, a medium, a grande sized course, that maybe would be somewhere in the $50 to $500 range. And man, I don't even know. It's so hard to say, right? Like it totally depends. And then the larger signature type course, that would be definitely somewhere in the $500 plus range. And again, so subjective, totally depends on the topic, totally depends on the results that you are offering. So I just wanted to give you some ballparks so that you had an idea of what I was talking about here. So here's what's interesting about a course versus a membership. A course can also be a membership. And what I mean by this is that it really depends on how involved you want to be with the experience that your student is having through the course. This is what defines a course versus a membership. Inside of a membership, what they are paying for month by month, why it is a membership in the first place, besides the fact that it gives you reliable income, which is awesome, is that they are paying to have regular access to you and to maybe even your community, if that's something that you want to offer. They are paying for coaching and customer support and support. Like they are just paying for support. They want to feel supported. And that is the key difference versus a self-paced course. When it's a self-paced course, they're like, nah, I'm good. I got it. Thank you. Maybe I'll check in if I need to. And they do it by themselves, right? So when you are thinking about a membership, what you can do, and this is what I do inside of the Voicepreneur program, is you can create a course. You can have a start and an end. You can have like a week by week or a month by month or however you want to drip it out. It is totally up to you, but there is core content in the form of a course that everyone inside of your membership goes through. And then you can add on live group coaching calls or Q&A calls or masterclasses or workshops or whatever you want to. This is why voice teaching is so much fun. You can literally offer whatever you want to in the form of ongoing support. So hopefully that helps clarify that key difference there, that yes, you can have a course inside of a membership, but you could also have like a standalone course and not have the component of the customer support, right? So your decision on what model to choose is going to come back to three things. It's going to come back to number one, what problem you're solving. Number two, who you're solving that problem for, who it is that you are serving. And then number three, your long game vision. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by this and how I have done this in my own life and how I've been thinking about this with all of the different courses and memberships that I've created. So I created an online course a couple years back. I've mentioned it many times on the podcast. That was in the $100-ish range. I actually don't even remember how much it is, but it's in that, like medium-sized course type. And it was specifically for graduating high school students or maybe juniors, people who are really seriously taking their singing to the next level. And then also amateur adults to practice singing on their own. The goal was for them to have their own practice program. So similar to that of like a library that they could just check out and follow along with anytime they wanted to. This was also really cool because I could utilize the program within my one-on-one lessons and I could correlate it with the actual assignments that I was giving my students. So for example, if I would say, hey, we're working on that exercise, breathe in between. Oh, that's great. That's actually in lesson 2 of the Own Your Voice program. And I want you to go ahead and practice with the third warm-up track that's inside of that lesson. So it was really great because not only was I able to assign my students different things that were inside of the program and I didn't have to do any additional work, I could watch them actually follow along with the warm-up tracks, which was so cool, so eye-opening to like make a program and record all these tracks and then watch your students actually interact with the program. So freaking cool. So that's amazing. And then it was also really cool because it was like a supplement for any time that I needed to cancel a lesson or when I went on my 6-month maternity leave, I had a lot of students who bought the Own Your Voice program. In fact, to this day, I'm actually not currently teaching one-on-one lessons, but if you go onto my website and you look at my services page, you will see that I am taking people directly to that program. I say, hey, I'm not teaching right now, but if you want to learn how to sing, and I think the quote that I use is something like, it's like Duolingo, but for singing, something like that. I can't remember. It's basically a place that I can take people to that is still in alignment with my teaching style and my method and everything that I teach. It is solving a specific problem and I don't have to be a part of it. They can go and learn and do their own thing and it is awesome, right? I still make money from this online course thanks to my podcast, which is also a separate episode. Super cool, power of legacy content. So that was really my train of thought when I was creating this online course. I thought I want it to just make money on its own. I want it to do its own thing. I don't want to have to worry about it anymore. I just want to teach my method without having to teach, So that was the goal with my online course. Now, when it comes to the Voicepreneur program, the membership that I am currently running, that is obviously completely different. I am so active in that thing. That is the whole point. I want to be active. I want to be helping the voice teachers really intimately. So I have the program going where the core content is there for people to learn on its own. But then I hop onto the live calls and I'm answering questions and we're doing master classes and workshops. And I really am like living, eating, breathing this thing, but in the best way possible because I love it. And I feel like I could talk about this stuff forever. And it's so, so fulfilling for me. So I think what's really interesting about this is that if you really organize your membership the right way, it's actually really easy. Like, I know it sounds overwhelming. You're probably thinking, oh my God, that sounds like so much work. I don't know if I want to do a membership. That sounds way too involved. I am telling you, it's really not that much work. Like I've already talked about this in previous episodes. I talk about how I have built a membership so that I can actually work less. So go check out that episode. But I just want to say it again because it is so cool when you can align the things and the topics and the concepts that are inside of your zone of genius, your actual zone of genius itself. Maybe, your zone of genius is getting on camera and teaching like me, or maybe it's, oh my gosh, no, I am totally like get me behind the microphone kind of person. And that's awesome too. Like whatever your flow is, you can create a membership around that, right? You can also create a membership that allows you to get your time back because all of the core content is the stuff that you're teaching over and over and over and over again, right? Those are the FAQs. This is the stuff that you are doing. And if you are doing it repeatedly and you're teaching it repeatedly, then that is scalable. You can record that. You can document that. You can get that in front of many people without you having to sacrifice any more of your time and energy. So it actually is helping you. It's actually like helping you in the long run. And I am so happy to help voice teachers with this if it is something that feels in alignment for them, if they are feeling ready for that. So if it is something that you're like, I got some more questions. I want to know more. I want to hear more. You can connect with me with the links that are inside of the show notes. I'm always on Instagram over in my DMs, and you can DM me at the Voicepreneur. Ultimately, it is completely up to you which offers you want to sell, let's say on their own, doing their own thing, something that you don't want to have to worry about anymore, or something that you want to actively be a part of. Everything with business is about having variety. It's about thinking big. It's about long game vision. It is not about stress. So if you are feeling stressed out, let me just help you breathe. I do not want you to feel stressed. I always want you to feel inspired and empowered. Like you can do this because you can do this. I promise you, it is not out of the question to create something like a course or a membership. So if you are excited about this prospect, you don't really know maybe how to create an online course or a membership, but you are thinking to yourself, I totally want to do this one day. I am inviting you to join us inside of the Voicepreneur program. This is what we do, my friend. I mean, we do a lot of things, but a lot of the voice teachers in there are working really hard on their online courses and memberships. And it is so awesome to watch. Oh my gosh. It is just like, it's so cool. The variety of things that people are teaching about, their way of teaching, their unique method, their unique kind of offer, like how they're actually offering the course and the membership and who they're offering it for. It is so freaking cool. So you definitely want to come and get inspired by the other voicepreneurs that are inside of this program. And if you have any questions about whether or not this is a right fit for you, I do offer a free 15-minute consult and we can chat it out. And I promise I am truthful. I am not salesy. I am just here to support you always. If you enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot of it and go post it on your Instagram stories and tag me at the Voicepreneur. And I would love to hear from you. Like literally, you got to go and DM me and let me know. Are you going to do a course next? Or are you going to do a membership? I want to know. Is there one where you're like, ooh, that's the one. I feel it. I am really interested in dun, da, da, da. Which one? Let me know. Let me know on Instagram so that I can support you. Thank you as always for spending your time with me. If you have any additional time on your hands, I would truly appreciate a rating and a review over on iTunes. Thank you again for all of your support. I am so grateful to do this work with you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next episode.